Welcome to Lola's Frugal Life Podcast. If you're on a mission to be more frugal with both your time and money, you're in the right place. In this podcast, we talk about topics that help enhance living a frugal lifestyle. The goal is to save time and money where we can so that we can use the rest on what matters most to us. We talk a lot about both time and money management so that we can waste as little as possible on both. We do this while also embracing a progress over perfection mindset. If that sounds good to you, then please stick around for the latest episode right after a few quick words from our sponsor. Hi everyone, welcome back to Lola's Frugal Life Podcast. Before we get into the episode topic today, I just wanted to share my quick life update. So basically what is going on in my life right now is all holiday related. I think I mentioned this before, but this Saturday we're having kind of like a whole holiday day where we're going to be baking cookies. We're going to decorate gingerbread houses. Then we're going out to dinner, which is not really holiday related. It was kind of a celebration for my daughter who just got her driver's license, but I thought it'd be a great day to go out for that dinner because since we'll be baking cookies and doing gingerbread houses and all that other stuff during the day, it would be nice to not have to cook dinner. So we're going to go do that celebration. And then after the dinner, we're going to drive around to look at Christmas lights. We love to go find houses in our neighborhood or, ones that aren't too far to go check out. There's like Facebook pages now that tell you all the different houses that have really great decorations. And we really love doing that. So I'm looking forward to that day. It's going to be really nice to be able to just kind of have like a whole day just dedicated to doing fun stuff and baking and seeing lights and going out to dinner and all that kind of stuff. And then as far as my loving lately, it's definitely been holiday movies while getting close to finishing my Christmas puzzle and also while working. I work from home a few days a week. And while I've been working, I kind of have had like a Christmas movie going on in the background. So it's kind of fun. I've had like some of like the Hallmark type ones, or I also have some that I own on Amazon Prime, like It's a Wonderful Life and Elf and Christmas Story and National Lampoon's Vacation or National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. A bunch of those different ones. Oh, Elf I have on there. So just kind of playing those. All the Santa Claus movies, we've been playing those too. Just like having those in the background, even if you're not kind of just watching it, it's just been kind of fun. So anyway, so for today's episode, I just wanted to do just kind of a light, fun episode as we're getting closer to the holiday season. I did a similar episode last year too, where I shared some of my favorite holiday memories. So this is kind of the same exact thing. So if you heard that and you don't want to hear it again, you're definitely going to hear some similar things because my memories are what they are. They really don't change, but I'll share with you some of my favorite Christmas memories and then kind of what some of my current favorite traditions are that we still do. So just some things, I guess, that I remember from Christmases in the past when I was a kid. I just think back of some of the really big Christmas things that were like a big thing back when I was growing up, which were like Cabbage Patch Kids. I remember my mom going out trying to get me a Cabbage Patch Kid and you just couldn't get them. And then she got me one of like the fake ones. And I was like, this isn't real. It doesn't have Xavier Roberts' signature on the butt and whatever. I was kind of like needed to have a real Cabbage Patch Kid. I did eventually get one. But at the time, there was a year when you just could barely get your hands on one. So I always think of that when I think of like some of my younger Christmases. I remember being a teenager, maybe preteen, maybe early teens, I forget. But there was a time when all I ever would ask for was like these well, not all I would ask for, but one thing that I would definitely ask for probably a couple years was these Wigwam socks. And we used to, it's a brand, but it was like a certain style of them. And we would like layer them up. Like we'd wear like multiple socks and there would be different colors and whatever. It was something that I did back when I was a kid. So those were just kind of some of the fun things I remember. Me and my sister used to always kind of just have fun on Christmas Eve and do like a whole thing with playing Christmas music. And we would I forget if we opened I don't think we opened our stocking gifts. I feel like we did open our stocking gifts on Christmas Eve. It's hard to remember, but just kind of, hanging out and listening to music and making snacks. And Christmas Eve has always been such a really fun time. when I was growing up. And then as I got older, with my kids, some of the fun things that I remember, one year we decided to take them to Macy's in New York City, the famous Macy's that's in Miracle on 34th Street, because I thought it would be the coolest thing for them to get to have their picture taken with the real Santa in Macy's on 34th Street in New York. So the problem was the line is like ridiculously long. We stood in line for hours. It weaves through the store all over the place. You're like in the HR department of Macy's, like they just weave you through everywhere. It could have been the timing of when we went. I don't know if it's always that crazy, but it was really, really long wait to see Santa. But I still think it's cool that they got to do that. And I don't know that everyone gets to do that. And for me, it was kind of like very novelty thing to do because I love the movie Miracle on 34th Street, and I was like, you guys are getting to see the real Santa, and it was just something really fun that we had done with them that one year. I had some funny things that my kids asked for over the years that I always remember. There's a character named Piccolo, which I think was from Dragon Ball Z. I don't remember. I'm probably saying it totally wrong, but one of my daughters said she wanted this character Piccolo in a rice cooker, and I guess there was an episode maybe where this character was in a rice cooker, but it turned out they did sell these little figurines with this character in a rice cooker, and he would like pop out. But when she asked for the gift from Santa, we had no idea what she was talking about, and Santa had no idea what she was talking about, and it was just like a challenge till we realized there was such thing as Piccolo in a rice cooker. So we always kind of like remember that with her being young and asking and just kind of thinking it was funny that that was like one of the big things she wanted for Christmas. Oh, another thing I had noted down, going back to my childhood again, was I remember we used to get the TV guide back in the day, and it would tell you like what shows were going to be on what channels each week. And we used to always like go through the TV guide to see like what day the different Christmas cartoons were going to be on, because it wasn't like now where you could just put them on whenever, anytime during the year, whenever you feel like watching them. It was like you kind of had to watch it the night that it was going to be on, otherwise you missed it. So that was always fun, just kind of going through the TV guide and seeing like what nights the shows were going to be on and getting excited to like sit down and watch them. Another more current one that I really love, which is still a favorite holiday tradition of mine, which I forgot to mention is actually happening this Saturday when we're doing our baking day. It luckily just happens to line up. But I love when Santa comes through the neighborhood on the fire truck. I know that's a tradition in many areas. We have that here too. They do a food drive. Everyone goes out to the sidewalk with their canned goods or whatever they want to donate to the firemen when they come by, and it's just so fun. I like get so excited and I listen. I hear the sirens like coming through the neighborhood, and I'm looking out the door trying to figure out if he's on our street yet or if it's just coming from behind or wherever he's at. And I get all excited, like Santa's almost here, like yelling to my kids, who are the youngest is 18, and we're kind of just like waiting for Santa to come and running out and giving them the firemen their donations. And so that's just something that I really still love. That's a tradition that I really still love now. And all through my kids' childhood, it was always like exciting to have Santa coming through the neighborhood on a fire truck. And like I said, that's actually lining up with the day that we're going to be baking cookies and doing gingerbread houses and all that stuff. So just kind of adds to the fun of that day. When going back again to my kids, when they were younger, I remember my son was convinced that Santa could make anything. So that was interesting when it came to the things he was asking for for Christmas. One of my children wrote letters to Santa and would drop them in like a mailbox at the mall, but wouldn't share with anybody else what was on that list. So that was interesting too. Chocolate advent calendars, I always think of at Christmas time. When I was a kid, I was pretty like good about eating the chocolate every day and counting down. My kids have never really counted down hardly and been into making sure they eat their chocolate. But since it was such a childhood memory of having those every year, I always get them for my kids. And usually they'll sit wherever I put them out for like at least a week into December. And then I'll remind them, you guys have your advent calendars. You're supposed to be eating your chocolate each day. And then sometimes they'll get caught up. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they'll forget. Sometimes they'll eat 4 or 5 chocolates at a time. And then after Christmas, usually there's at least probably a quarter to half of the advent calendar still left because they never wind up eating their chocolate. And then I wind up throwing them in the trash. But for some reason, I just keep buying them every year. I just think it's so fun. And I love the idea of having them. And we got like really, really inexpensive ones this year at Trader Joe's. They were like less than $2 each. So I'm sure they have real high quality chocolate in them. But anyway, so didn't really cost much, but just funny that they're not really into the counting down like I was, as far as, having a chocolate each day to kind of make it like a visual thing with the countdown. What else? Currently, some of my favorite traditions are having Christmas Eve at my sister-in-law's house. We go there every year. Since I've been married or engaged, I guess we've been doing that every single year for Christmas Eve. We go to their house. It's really fun. It's mostly just like the immediate family. In the past, there used to be other friends and things that they would have come, but now it's pretty much just our immediate family. But we get together. Everyone brings a dish. Actually, last year was kind of funny because I brought Salisbury steak, and it's like you make it in a crock pot, and then I brought it in like a tray to bring there for her to put in her, hot dish things or whatever. And like the sterno trays. And when I told my family that I was making these Salisbury steaks to bring for Christmas Eve, they were like looking at me like, why would you bring something like that? That's so like weird to bring for Christmas Eve. Like it's such a random meal or whatever, random dish. And we brought it for Christmas Eve, and it was just cracking me up because everybody loved them and everyone kept raving about them. So it was just kind of funny. I was kind of looking at my family and I told you this would be good. So now that's kind of like a new tradition where I will bring that because everybody loves it. And now I don't even really make it throughout the year. I used to make it occasionally throughout the year, but I don't anymore because now it's kind of like a Christmas Eve thing. So to kind of keep it like semi-special, I don't make that really throughout the year, but I will be making it for this Christmas Eve. And then while we're there, we do a gift exchange, just like a $20, everyone brings a gift, and we do one of those like white elephant type things. So that's really fun. And then Christmas morning, we get up once my kids get up and we do our gifts here. And then later that night, my mom and my sister come over and we'll have dinner. So it's pretty relaxed on Christmas Day, which is really nice. Again, love watching Christmas movies, love driving around seeing Christmas lights. I'm always looking forward to some of the movies that I watch every single year. Like I mentioned before, I love Miracle on 34th Street. I love It's a Wonderful Life. I actually had that on today in the background while I was working. I love all the Santa Claus movies. The Christmas Chronicles. That was really fun too. I haven't watched that this year. The Grinch, Polar Express. And again, of course, my kids make fun of me because I just love National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and I could pretty much recite the entire movie from start to end because I've watched it so many times. A Christmas Story I saw when I was a kid in the movie theaters when it came out. I think I'm about the same age as Ralphie, and I was about his age when I saw it in the movie theater. So that's another kind of fun thing. So I guess that's it. Like I said, this was just kind of like a quick, fun episode, holiday related, just to share some things and maybe get you thinking about some of your Christmas past and your current favorite traditions. So thank you so much for listening today. I hope you all have a really amazing holiday season, and I will see you back here next week. So thank you for checking in for this podcast episode. And don't forget, you can always email me with any questions or suggestions at lolasfrugallife@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Lola's Frugal Life. And you can find a blog post for most of my episodes and definitely all of my meal plan episodes at lolasfrugallife.com. You can also join our private listeners group at facebook.com/groups/lolasfrugallife. And if you enjoy the show, please make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen from. And I would love it if you would screenshot the show and tag me on Instagram so I could see you're listening. Also, if you can please take a couple of seconds to rate and review the podcast, those ratings and reviews are what help the show come up better in search results so that other people can find this podcast. So that will really help me in growing my audience. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have an awesome day.